Hey yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the TheFlyBoyWay. That's TheFlyBoyway. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel and welcome to Money Talk Monday. Let's start this off right.
To go sign for my property manager, sign the notary, because notary has to go. Of course, I'm late because I couldn't find parking, so I can get in the shower and get dressed on Collins Avenue. So we at I really could give you the tour right away, but I'm gonna eventually give you a tour. And you're gonna see how it is. But we on 800, man. It's time, man. Time to bust the moves, man. 9th floor. Just want to show you guys. Look, I'm on the 9th floor, and the only floor above me is the penthouse. You know what I mean? So, that's how we going. That means, like, I'm up there, but there's still room for progress, man. There's still room for progress, still room to move. I like this elevator, it's kind of dope, but I'm going to get used to it, though. But I'm going to go there with my camera, so that's it.
That's it. Signed.
Yes. So we finally signed the paperwork. I'm going to get to showing you everything. Hopefully, I'll show you guys everything already, but it's for $40 He's fresh at the TheFlyBoyWay. That's TheFlyBoyway. Don't ask why. Check out the channel, please.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Alright, y'all. So what y'all just saw was the intro to when I actually got my place in Miami Beach. Shout out to people who came in the room early before this even started. Kai, what up, Kai? What it is? Selling your house in South Beach and buying a place in Colombia with may just in fact be the TheFlyBoyWay. What's going on? Chef in the building. Hey, yo. Lafayette Watch, what it do? Chicken burrito in the building. What's up? What up? Jay Brass, you already know. Don't ask why. Dog nuts, and everybody else. Hit the like button on the way in. Let's make this go viral so we can share this information with everyone else. It's not about me. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the subscribers. I'm just showing you my journey and how I'm moving through this world as a black man from Newark, New Jersey. So shout out to my A1 Day One brother, Kings and Dreams in the building. Make sure y'all check out the channel. Z1, what's going on? I want to get the shout outs done now because as soon as I get rolling, we're gonna get rolling. Mr. V, what up? What city in Colombia? Watch, we're gonna get into that also. All right. Anybody else come in the room? I'll shout you guys out as you come. If you're watching this on a replay, there's gonna be a lot of great details on this, and everything I speak on now is tracked on my YouTube channel under the financial freedom section. So a lot of people they know that my channel is about my life. I know travel is a big part of my life because it's something I do the most, but I also show you guys the financial aspect of it. And I have a thing that everybody knows called Money Talk Mondays. And I haven't been doing them often because I've been doing stuff behind the scenes, but for this Money Talk Mondays, I think it was necessary because of the fact that I'm selling my condo in Miami Beach. And for those who've been tracking me through my journey, you were there when I brought my first property. You were there when I brought my second property in New Jersey. You were there when I couldn't get the place in Montclair, and because the New Yorkers was coming in and paying $100,000 over asking. You was there when I decided to buy my place in South Beach and the struggle I went through. It's all on YouTube. So if you want to go back and check it after this, I'll tag it in the thing and stuff. But let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. Last shout outs real quick. Last shout outs before we start this up. Good riddance. What's up? Da Sim, salute. Just Driz, what's up, man? I'm just the average person, man. I'm just the average person showing y'all what's possible for all of us, yo. For all of us, man. If you know this journey, you know. Appreciate it, man. Corvus, what's up, man? Flyboy, how do you manage to get not because we'll talk about that after 30 minutes. If after 30 minutes or after 35, 40 minutes, I'll let you guys ask whatever questions you want. And just remind me that question because I want to stay focused to this right now. Selling because you got tired of the ratchet. No, that's not it either. We're going to get into that also, y'all. But again, if you guys got any questions outside of that, just at 30 minutes, remind me, and I'll go into it. I just want to start this off early, y'all. It's the Carter. What's going on, Carter? MV, and Caribbean Cash. No, what's going on, fellas? All right, y'all. So let's start this off right. All right. Hopefully the heat is not too loud because I got it on right now. Let's go. Okay. So in 2019, I had just purchased my second property, and I'm starting from there because I don't want to go too far back. I had just purchased my second property in West Orange, New Jersey. Now, I'm not my fault. In Newark, New Jersey. I purchased my second property in Newark, New Jersey. Once I purchased this property, I was able to refinance. I was able to get out $50,000, and I was able to pay off all my debt. So I had about $35,000, and I was able to pay off actually 30 because I spent $5 on some rims and stuff. So I had about $30,000, and my credit was up there, and it was 2019. Where I'm from in New Jersey, from where I'm from in New Jersey, there's a place called Montclair, New Jersey. And in Montclair, New Jersey, you have all the upper class people. And I really wanted to buy a place in Montclair. But unfortunately, like I said, the people from New York was coming to New Jersey, and I was looking in the process, and I couldn't find one. So I decided I'm going to find somewhere where I can own out of the country. And my decision was to purchase a property in Barranquilla, Colombia. That was my decision in 2019. Again, all that I'm speaking about now is tracked on videos on my page. You guys can see it if you just go to the financial passive income part. So I said I'm going to buy a place in Barranquilla, Colombia. So as I'm looking at the prices, I needed $70,000 to buy a place in Barranquilla, Colombia, but I only had $35,000. Now I did have about $40,000 in my 401k, but you know, if you guys know what a 401k is, you put in a certain amount of money and your employer matches it 100% up to a certain amount. For where I work, they matched it up to 6%. So 6% of whatever I put in, they will 6% of whatever I made for the year, they would match it and put it into the 401k, and that ended up going up to $40,000. I had already borrowed some money because I originally had $60,000 in it, and I borrowed $15,000 or $13,000, so I wasn't able to access the other $40,000. So I was like, cool, I can't go get the place in Barranquilla in 2019 because it's $70,000. I can't afford it. But I got $30,000. I got a 760 credit score, and what can I do? I don't want to just sit on this money because I know inflation, you know, the value of money going down. I knew that, or them printing more money, rather, inflating the money, monetary thing, because they're printing money, that would cause the money that I had to not be worth anything. So I had to try to do something. Little did I know in 2020, there would be a pandemic. During this pandemic, they allowed people to access all of the money in your 401k and take it out up to 100,000, and take it out for emergency use. So that 40,000 that I didn't have access to, I was able to take that out. Now I did have to pay some stuff down. So by the time that came, remember 2019 is when I had the 30,000. By that time that came, I was able to take that 40,000 out, and I had about like 5,000 or 6,000 left. I had already bought a car. I had already done a bunch of stuff with that 30,000 with the money sitting there. So I took the 40,000 out, right? And I said, yo, now I got to buy a place. I still didn't have enough money for Barranquilla because Barranquilla at the time was still 70,000. And on top of that, you couldn't even go to Colombia unless you was a citizen or you were living already there during the pandemic. So that just got cut off. Then I went to Montclair, and as you know, the New York thing happened. So I said, you know what? I want to buy somewhere warm. somewhere I can go to when they shut down New Jersey like they did. And I decided I'm gonna buy a place in South Beach or Miami. Now we're gonna bring up the screen for you guys real quick. I want to share the screen for you with you guys. This is my place in South Beach, Miami that I brought. It's 800 West Avenue, right? Unit 905. I brought this place for $167,000, $167,500. Now, the thing about this is that they wanted 100. They wanted, as you can see, they wanted 100. Can you guys see this? Yeah. They wanted $179,000. But here's the thing: during the pandemic, when everyone was freaking out, this is why you got to stay calm when everyone's going crazy. While everyone was freaking out, I figured it out that because the virus was something that happened in close range, I knew that a lot of people wouldn't want to buy condos because condos is like apartment buildings and filled with people. So I went and looked for a condo, and this is the one I found. Now, when I went there, I realized that the person who owned the condo wasn't even from the United States. So I figured out, hey, I could probably get a discount because if they're not from the United States and they can't come back to the United States, because as you guys know, remember, during the virus, the United States cut people off, then they're probably in a rush to sell their property because they're just losing money. So I was able to negotiate 6.4% off and get it for $167,500 in October 30th, 2020. So I purchased this property on October 30th, 2020. Now, I was going to go through my job to get the financing, and it started working. But in the middle of financing, my job credit union backed out and left me hanging. Luckily, I had a great realtor named Calle, who was a Colombian woman from I don't know what part of Colombia, but she lives in Miami, and she was able to find me funding, and I was able to start the closing process all over again. Mind you, this is with 45 days left to close. My credit union through my job blacked out on me with 45 days left to close. And Diana Calle found me a place to close. Here was the only issue. Because in Miami, a lot of condos don't have reserves for if something goes wrong. The bank wanted an extra $15,000 on top of all of the money that I had for me to close this property. So I had $40,000. I went through all this. I already put the escrow in. I already said I was going to buy it. I would have lost, I think, up like $5,000 or something like that, because I put a decent amount in so he could seal a deal. And I said, yo, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I got to do it. So I maxed out every single one of my credit cards. I think the most I could take out ended up being like $2,500 off of 3 credit cards each. So I had off of 4. So I had 20. I took 25,000 out. Or 2,500 out. 2,500 out. That's 5,000. I took another 2,500 out. I took another 2,500 out. That was 500 because you can't empty the whole credit cards in cash. You can't empty the whole credit card. They only let you take up to a certain amount. So I had $10,000, but I still needed $5,000. But luckily, me and my boys had planned to go to All-Star Weekend in Houston, like two weeks before. Like, we planned it ahead of time, and it just so happened to fall in line 2 or 3 weeks before closing on my Miami property. Right, it was supposed to be closing, and I was able to pay for everything with my credit card. Remember, you can only take half the money out in cash. So I was able to pay for everything. I mean, me and my boys, we pop bottles. Again, all these videos are on my page. You can see the Houston, we was in there popping bottles, spending. We've had 6 bottles, every single club, 5 or 6 bottles. Every single club, multiple clubs, 5 or 6 bottles. And those numbers ran up to like another 10,000. So I swiped my card on everything, and everybody gave me the cash. So, for those that know, you can't just put in cash and say, I got it. You got to prove where it comes from. But I was lucky enough that I had already owned properties. So all I had to tell them was that, yo, I got this money for rent. They paid me in cash ahead of time because I needed the cash now. And the underwriter let it slide. because again, remember, I thought I only needed the 40,000, and they didn't run my credit again. For some reason, they didn't run my credit again to see that I pulled all this money out like before closing. They didn't do it like I think they normally do. So I was able to show that I had $61,000 in my account. I had $61,000 in my account, and I needed 60 to close. So as soon as they seen that, they said, you clear the close, and I closed on the property. Little did I know how important this purchase would be in the future. Fast forward. Now we're in 2024. So I've owned this property since October 30th, 2020. So almost 4 years. This year before the fourth year if I kept it. For the first 3 years, I lived in Miami, going back and forth every other weekend. For those that don't know, yes, I fly Spirit. And I was still paying, in the beginning of the pandemic, it was only $100 round trip. But starting towards 2021, like the end of 2021, it ended up being like $250 every trip. And I went every other weekend. And as you know, I have over 100 South Beach lifestyle episodes on here, so you guys can watch those too. Every other weekend I was down there. I still had to pay my $1,650. I think it was at the time it was $1,400, but as you know, Home Owners Association goes up every year. So it started at $1,350, then it went to $1,400, then it went to $1,450 and something like that, and now it's currently at $1,600. So every I paid it off. Now right now I said, hey, the market is doing great, but when the Sunnyside buildings in Miami fell down, the Miami instituted something that is going to be at the end of 2025 to say that all buildings have to have reserves. That means that my HOA fee, which is normally $676, will shoot up to $1,400 or $1,200 for a specific number of time, maybe like 2 or 3 years, right? Cool. On top of that, insurance in Miami right now is through the roof for a place. My property value, because it raised up so much, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit while I talk about that. Hold up. So you guys see that again. I brought it at $167,500, right? Currently, between Zillow and Realtor, which are the two sites that everybody checked, they're saying that my Zestimate is between $245,000 and $288,000 for this place. Last year it was like 300 something, but that's how much they're saying it is for this place right now, right? That's on Zillow. On Realtor is saying it's 69,000. So I also went to. I want to show you guys. I thought I must have did it. I was gonna show you guys the. I gotta show you here. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hopefully she don't get too upset because I'm using this right here. I want to show you guys all listings because this is going to show you the properties that sold in the recently in my building. And just in my building, that's the best measure of what you can sell your property for, is showing what sold or what's pending or what's on sale. Now I have a studio place on the water, but my studio is the largest studio, one of the largest studios in the building. It's 560 what's the name? There's a couple of them that say 600, but there's still 560 what's the name? So we'll go to the first one that just sold. And the one that just sold was 208. It sold for 286,000. And it was the same size as mine, but it's on the lower floor. It's on the 515th floor on room. I think 515, and mine is 905. So the higher floor you're on, the more money you're most likely going to get. So and then there's another one that's currently for sale right now, which is going for 259. But what happens is that they price it low to see if they can bid it up high, rather than pricing it up high like this one did, and it came down. So again, if I had to say what's the least amount I would take for my place, it would be 270. But most likely it's going to sell for like 280. But I said I would take 270 depending on what's what, because I'm trying to keep everything all furnished, but it'll most likely sell for 280 because depending on who do it. But here's the thing. 280, right? I still owe about 105 on my property. So 280 minus 105 is now 175. But as you guys know, you have to pay taxes. But I'm paying long-term capital gains because I owned it for over 2 years. So that's about $15,000 because it's in Florida. I also have to pay the selling broker. I might not have to pay the buying because, as you guys don't know now, the realtor's fee for the commission for the buying agent is not a necessity anymore. But let's just say I did I pay the buyer, the buying realtor to the buyer's agent. My fault. If I pay the buyer's agent to sell my thing faster, that's another $15,000 because it's 6% of the total cost. So in total, that's 175 minus 30,000, and that leaves me with about 145,000. Now remember, y'all, the reason why I went through it this way is because remember, at the beginning of when I purchased this property, I only had access to 40,000 and I had 5,000 in cash that I didn't blow through. So I had a total of $45,000 in 2020. I invested it in this property by maxing out all my credit cards, and that 45,000 turned into 135,000 in 3.5 years after taxes. So I do have to pay my credit cards back, and of course, credit cards charge 30% interest, so my interest is up. That 20,000 that I borrowed from my credit card is probably 30,000 right now in credit card debt. So now you have to subtract the 145. If you have to subtract 30 from that, so that gives me 115. So now with the credit cards all paid off, I have now turned $45,000 to $115 in 3 years. I've almost tripled my value of the money I had. Now I could keep it in the Miami property. I have a tenant there now. The tenant pays rent, and I make about $400 a month off of the tenant from what I have to pay normally. But the issue with that is that with all that I mentioned before, as far as the condo thing going up, property taxes going up, a wise investor once said, pigs get fed, but hogs get slaughtered. I've made almost three times the amount of money in 3 years, which wouldn't have happened if I just left the money in my 401k. So instead of being a hog and just holding out to get more and more money, I'm going to do what I said I was going to start to do. I'm going to sell my property, pay off my $30,000 in credit card debt, and buy a condo in Barranquilla, Colombia. Originally, I was going to go to Mexico, to Playa del Carmen, because of the fact that I felt as though it's more secure. It's not because I like it more, because I don't like Playa del Carmen more than I like Colombia. But it was for the fact that I felt it was more secure because Colombia closed during lockdowns. But when I went to Barranquilla just recently for Carnival, and I seen the amount of brothers that lived there and the connections in a place that I stayed, I said I need to do some research. So before I get into anything, I said the first thing I have to do, the same way when I bought my property in Miami, even though I lived in New Jersey, I knew nobody down in Miami except for DJ Chisel. I didn't have any connection down there except for DJ Chisel. The first thing I had to do was get a realtor and work with a lawyer. So I'm taking those same steps right now. And I found 2 lawyers originally that I was going to work with in Colombia. I had to choose from, rather. Now, both of these people have been there for over 10 years. The first one was James Lindsay. Now, when I did the research, because I always do the research, he has a YouTube page. He has a what's name page. He does visas and stuff. He's not specifically a lawyer, but he works with a lawyer group in Colombia. And I said, dang, I see good reviews on the Better Business Bureau for him, or for the reviews for him. Let me talk to him. So I paid like $75 just to have a 30-minute conversation to understand what I needed to know. And I learned a lot. I definitely learned a lot. But I said I can't just choose the first one I come across. So I went and I had a conversation with Langon Colombia, which is a lawyer from New York who has a law team and firm in Colombia he works with. And I listened and I scheduled a conversation with him. They didn't even charge me. I said, all right, that's kind of particular. They didn't even charge me for a 30-minute conversation. That's kind of particular. You guys will see that conversation after I meet them when I go down there. So I had to choose between Lindsay and Langdon. And I decided to go with Langdon because I felt as though they were a lot more organized and they responded to me via email, via WhatsApp, very fast. So shout out to James because he's still good for visas and stuff, but I went with Langon Law Firm. Another thing I went and did is they sent me a link. Let me go here. They sent me a link. Hold on a second. Langdon. Wait, on fault. Langon Law. Come on, pop up. Here we go. They sent me a link to their channel, right? And on their channel, they had 5 episodes that you can watch. And I think these, because again, I always do research, and I'll get to the chat eventually. I just want to get this all out, and then we'll get to the chat. They had 5 episodes where they walked you through the process of purchasing property in Colombia. Now, yes, I'm not one of the big people who like to read a lot of stuff, but I do read because I need to back stuff up. But to have something like this, which was so easy to just listen to and then re-listen to it and then re-listen to it until I got it, it helped me decide that, hey, these are the people I'm gonna go with. And then the conversation solidified it. Before I get to show you where I'm going to buy the property in Barranquilla Colombia, because I've been talking to the building. I have the building. I know the different units I can buy, and that's all there also. But the thing I liked about Langdon is that they sent me a brochure. I want to show you guys the brochure real quick because I want to show you guys the brochure. I don't know if I can buying property right here. Where's the brochure? Where's the brochure? Because the brochure actually breaks down. Now I'm going to download it again. But the brochure actually breaks down the price in advance. And basically what it is, if you guys don't know how lawyers work, you basically pay a retainer fee. And what the retainer fee is a certain amount you give them because they think that is how much everything along the way is going to cost. And it's in account. You see it there. And every time something gets charged, it gets pulled from that account. So the different things they have is they have a complete one, they have a complete plus, and then they have the ones when you're in a rush. Now, because we're not in a rush, we're not even going to look at that side. So I said, I'm not going to do the complete one because I want to show my supporters or the people who watch my channel or anybody who comes across this that it's better on your first property, I believe, to have somebody that knows it who can walk you through every step. Now, the way that they told me that you have to be able to, because the most difficult part, for those that don't know, of buying a property in Colombia, I can only speak for Colombia, but the most difficult part for buying a property in Colombia will be getting the money from the United States into Colombia, because there are a couple ways, but the best way, from what I've seen, is through a brokerage account. Now, the only way you could do this is if you have the legitimate funds in your account and you can prove where they came from. Now, they won't really allow you to set up an account until you have the funds. So right now, it's not like I can put $1,000 in and set the account up because they won't. That's not how it works. How it works is once I sell my property in Miami, I then can show them that, hey, this money for this property I'm trying to pay for here has came from the sale of this property. And that is what will get me, most likely get me the access to purchase this property in Colombia. As you guys know, it's very difficult, nearly impossible to set up a bank account in Colombia if you if you don't have a cedula. A cedula meaning a Colombian ID or visa. And if you somehow find a way to set up an account in Colombia with just your passport or something, the chances of you being able to transfer a large sum of money from the United States to Colombia, because of all the money laundering, because of all of the stuff that's been in the past, it's like 99% chance you won't be able to do it. So we're going to do this the right way. And again, I spoke to, I have to go, when I go to Medellin, I'm going to go to his law firm and I'm going to talk more with them. But I have to do this the right way because of how much money it is, just how it moves. So I did, again, it was about 1,100 for, depending on the Colombian peso, really, it could be lower, it could be lower. But it's basically about $1,100. And I know it might sound like a lot, and they walk you through the process. They introduce you to the broker. They get all your paperwork correct, and then they take you with your paperwork, make the introduction, and they walk you through the process. They talk to the people who you're buying the house from. They organize that. You can read all this stuff. I'll put this stuff in the description afterwards, but we're going to get into showing the property and stuff because we're over 30 minutes now. Thank you guys for being patient. I'm going to eventually get to your comments and stuff. I just want to keep the ball rolling for now. Okay. So we talked about how much I'm going to be working with. Now, again, if I sell it for we're going to go with the bottom number because I do believe I'm going to sell it for like $280. But if we go with the bottom number of selling it for $270, right? Selling my face for $270 and then take out $30,000 for taxes. That's $240 plus $105 I own. That's $135, right? Plus $30 I have to pay for my let's just say $30 I got to pay for my credit card debt. That's $105,000, and then let's just give it a $10,000 miscellaneous fee. So let's say I have $95,000 to work with, right? So we're saying I have $95,000 to work with. My idea wasn't to go out and try to get a big place because honestly, if you're only spending like $95,000, even in Barranquilla, you're going to get a place that's in a not so good area, and that's the one thing you don't want. It's better to me to have a small place in a great area than a big place in a bad area because of some things that could possibly happen. Rest in peace to things that happen to people. Here's the thing. As we go, there is no MLS in multiple listing service where you can see a bunch of houses. Zillow doesn't really work in Colombia. Realtor.com doesn't work in Colombia. But one of the things that does work in Colombia, even though it is kind of slow, you also still have to call the people to find out if the properties are still available. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. It's Fincares. It's Finca. It's basically the same thing as Realtor and Zillow. And this works in Colombia. So the first thing I did was I clicked Barranquilla Colombia because I knew where I wanted to stay. The last time I was in Barranquilla Colombia, I stayed in a building called District 90. And in District 90, there were not only a bunch of black brothers there. There was a bunch of United States citizens. There was a bunch of foreigners. And everything was in walking distance of this area. For those that don't know, Colombia is split into stratas. The higher the strata, the better the area. Now, I met a woman who lives in Strata 6. She's on the Black Man's Guide. If you've seen that, the Black Man's Guide to Barranquilla footnotes. Her name is Gray. I met her. She lives in Strata 6. And I asked her, hey, is Strata 6 and Strata 5 both okay to stay in? She said, yeah. I did the research online. It says Strata 5 and Strata 6 are the two places that you would want to stay in. And this building, District 90, is in Strata 5. So I said, okay, let me find out where it is. When I was there, I made sure I checked the area. I knew exactly what area it was in. And it's basically off Carrera 46 and Calle 90. It's 90. Basically 46th Avenue and 90th Street. So I went over to 46th Avenue and then I went across to 90th Street and I zoomed in because I wanted to see. Can you guys see this? Let me make sure you guys can still see this. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. Because I wanted to see if there was just so happened to be something available in in District 90. So as you can see right here, it says District 90. And would you look at this? There are units available on District 90. This whole area right here is pretty much District 90. So the first thing I said, okay, I don't want to invest a bunch of money because this is just my first investment overseas, and plus I'm not going to be there all the time yet. I plan on being there a lot more. I'll start going there a lot more. But how much am I willing to spend? Now I know I have $95,000, but you got to remember, I still have to pay the lawyer fee. I still have to pay closing costs, and I still have to have some money to get the place jicked up the way I wanted to get jicked up. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be my private place. I'm not planning to use it for an investment. I'm planning to use it for a place that I can retire. So I said, all right, let me see what they got. Don't you know they had 7 units available? They had 7 units available. I said, oh, man. So I said, let me see if I can get a balance of what prices, what kind of price it is. So when I started looking, the highest one was 360 mil Colombian pesos. And I wanted to know how much that was in United States dollars. So I did it, the simple thing everybody could do. I just used my phone and said, how much is 360 million Colombian pesos to dollars?
360 million Colombian pesos equals $92,446.74.
Okay, so then I said, okay, that's the highest it can go. Now, mind you, remember, when it comes to prices, the same as it is in the States, it's definitely that same way in South and Central America. The first price is never the cost. It's always negotiable. In any manner of anything in Latin America, it's always negotiable. The first price is never the price. So I said, all right, what's the lowest price somebody went? And the lowest price I seen somebody go was $330. So I said, okay, let me find out how much that is in United States dollars. How much is 330 million Colombian pesos to dollars?
330 million Colombian pesos equals $84,742.85.
Okay, so I said basically, so if the first price, and this is how I think from buying real estate in the States, if the first price is $92,000 and the lowest price is $84,000, odds are I can pretty much get something from $78,000 to $88,000. What's in between $78,000 and $88,000? Somewhere around the lines of 82, 83. And then I got to add another $2,000 for lawyer costs. That puts me at 85. Then closing costs is another $2,000. That puts me at 87. Let's say a miscellaneous $2,000. That means all in I'm at 89. And I have 95. That gives me the option to fix the place up the way I want to. So now I would have gone from having to pay $1,600 a month in Miami and still owing $100,000 to now having a condo completely paid off, fixed up the way I want to, and the only thing I have to pay is property tax, the HOA fee, and electric. And this is in Colombia. But let's go more into detail because I want to know, maybe the HOA fee is very high. So I just grabbed any of them because, again, they had, I'll show you guys what it looks like. They had 2 choices. I can get a 1-bedroom that had 58,000 space and it would cost a little bit more, about 400, which is about 100,000. Or I can get a nice studio, which I said I wanted to get, that comes with a balcony. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. It has a pool. It's right down the street from a store, a 24-hour store downstairs from a bank. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So this is District 90 right here. This is just a standard model for a studio apartment. They'll call it a 1-bedroom, but it's a studio. 1 bathroom. It got a washer in it, hot water, and it's pretty much a standard room. Now, there are other ones, but as you can see, the balcony is right here. excuse me. So I was like, yo, I know the bed is kind of low. That's just the standard of the bed, but it was comfortable when I was there. I didn't stay in a studio. I stayed in the 2-bedroom when I was there, but it's similar. But to have a balcony and do all that, I was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect. This is gonna be dope. And as you guys know, in Barranquilla, it's warm. It also has a game room. Also has a gym. It also has 2 jacuzzis on the roof, and it has a pool, which they didn't show in this picture right here. So, and again, me personally, I would like to be on a higher floor, but floor 5 is good for me. Floor number 5, like piso 5 was good for me. So I just want to look a little bit more. So I said, let me go look, and let me see what else I can see. And I just so happened to see one because remember, all this right here is district. This is all District 90 right here. There's office buildings and there's residential. They're separated. And I just kept looking. I kept looking, and I had seen one that was lower than even the price they put up here. But of course, that's so fast. It was like 295,000, but it was on like the 11th floor. So I'm starting to look, and again, remember, all the prices are negotiable. So this one for 340 is on the 12th floor. This would be something that I would probably go for and try to bring that price down versus going for a lower floor. So this right here is on the 12th floor. Again, they got a better picture of the balcony, and the view it's very close. I'll show you guys on the map, but it's very close to the ocean and close to everything that you're going to need. And as you can see, the design for all of them are the same, or similar. Well, the same. Pretty much the same design. Now, you can customize it the way you want, depending on if you're going to Airbnb it or not. But because I will not have any need to Airbnb it because of the process I did in Miami, I'm pretty much going to customize this for myself the way I like it. Of course, it's probably a limited stuff you can do. Let's see. All right, so we covered that. We covered the buying part. Covered the how I got the money, how the money went. And I guess now I'll get to your comments and we'll end this hopefully before an hour. So let me get to your comments to see what you guys got to say. Hopefully you guys oh yes, my fault. Thank you, Lafayette. I didn't see that. Let me go back real quick to show you guys the HOA cost real quick, y'all. Because I didn't show y'all the HOA fee. It's actually on here. The HOA fee is the administration. That's what, because remember, in high rises like this, like just like my place in Miami, we got security, we got cameras, we got pools, we got a lot of stuff. That's what the HOA fees cost. And because it's a studio, the administration or HOA fee is only 351,000 copas. And I'm gonna tell you how much it is in dollars. How much is 351,000 copas in dollars? How much is 351,000 Colombian pesos in dollars?
351,000 Colombian pesos equals $90.15.
So that's $90 a month. Plus, let's just add another 90 for, even though I'm not going to be there, because you know it's high in Barranquilla, let's just add another 90 and say that's 180, right? And then at the highest, property tax is based on how much your property is worth in Colombia. So if I spend $85,000 on the property, right? And the most they're going to charge you is 0.6% for property tax in Colombia. What is $80,000 times 0.06?
80,000 times 0.06 is 4,800.
So that is going to be about $4,800 a year. No, that's not going to be that. That's not my fault. That's wrong. That is wrong. No, that might be right. Let me see. Divided by 12. 1 second, y'all. Right. Divided by 12. So I'm probably this is at the highest, y'all. This is at the highest. So that's about $400 a month, right? So $400 a month, and it's not gonna be that high. But I'll let you know when I know for certain what it is. I'll let you know what it is, 'cause I know it's not that high. But again, I don't feel as though I'm going to have to pay more than $400 at all a month for my property tax, for my HOA fee, and for my for the electric to be going on while I'm there. And that's at max. It's probably not even gonna be $400 a month. But that's just something I wanted to show you guys. Let me get to y'all comments now because we over at 45 minutes. Where do we ended up at, y'all? Let's go. I'm starting back from from the top, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna start from Mango Diet because I said I'd get to this. He says selling your condo because you got tired of all the ratchet fatties. Don't trust your matrix girlfriend around. Fly. Nah, yo. I hope I showed you guys why I'm and through this process. I hope I showed you why I'm selling the property and why to me it makes sense. I think it makes sense to a lot of people, but I don't know. What's going on, Carter? You're definitely talking that money, man. You know. We got passport. Carter, let me see. International real estate portfolio. Again, I'm not trying to say that the United States is going to crumble. I don't think it ever will lose. Not in my lifetime. I don't think the United States will ever lose its #1 status. But I have an opportunity now that I didn't have before, and to diversify, I think is very important. I appreciate it, Corvus. Many condos go for sale due to most people didn't put the minimum 20%. No, I didn't think about that. I had to put 30% down because of that. Because of as I said earlier, because it didn't have reserves. I had to put 30% down to satisfy the mortgage. Black, what's going on, man? Florida. No, Florida's still lit though, y'all. I mean, if you look right now, Jeff Bezos just moved down there. Jeff Bezos. When you follow the money, you know it's gonna be lit because Jeff Bezos has moved down there, the third richest man in the world, built the whole place. He didn't just move into somebody's house. He built his whole place out. So again, I think like Miami's still gonna be good for a nice little while. I just think I'm not certain that this opportunity will ever come again. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Everything, Jay Brass, everything, bro, up. It's up. And I can afford it. Again, remember, I got a tenant down there paying $2,050 a month. My mortgage, my HOA fee, everything ends up being $1,600. So I'm making $4,000 or $1,650. So I'm making like $4,000 off him every month. So I can afford it even if it goes up. But I'm not certain that all those people that's on fixed income, all those older folks that live in my building that's on fixed income, I'm not sure they can afford it. And I know that say even if they can't afford it, what would happen is that a major company, because of the location, if you guys haven't seen the location, let me try to show you guys the location of where my condo is at, because I'm on the water, down the street from Fifth Ave, 10-minute walk from Miami Beach. So yeah, just let them show that. So not street view. Not street view. This is my condo right here. This is a street view of my condo right here. But that's not what I wanted to show. Oh shucks, let me go back. That's not what I wanted to show you guys. Is I wanted to show you guys the exit out of that. I wanted to show you guys this part. Look real quick at where my condo is at. We're on the water. I know it shows it here, but we're on the water. This is where Diddy lives. Rick Ross. I think Jennifer Lopez had a house here. The Scarface mansion is right here. Oprah lives right here. Jeff Bezos and Floyd Mayweather, they're like right here. So on Bell Harbor, in Bell Harbor. So again, and look, this is whenever you guys see me on my whole South Beach lifestyle episode, it literally took me 10 minutes to walk from here, where my place is at, to the water, to the beach, to the water. It's prime location. It is so prime location, and it's even primer because it's not where the wild stuff happens during spring break. It's in the residential section. The Mondrian Hotel where the celebrity stays is right here. So again, it for the 3.5 years I was there, bro, this is one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life when it comes to living somewhere, bro. And I love my city, North. I love my city look. I love East Orange where I live. But dog, being down here every other weekend, it changed my perspective on it didn't change it, but it enhanced my perspective of the world. Like to live this close to the beach. Dog, oh my god, it was crazy. So again, it's going up. It's just going up. And I'm not saying it's ever going to be a drop or anything like that. It's just going up. I'm sorry. I would have never. So I feel you, Denise. I feel you 100%. I feel you. Again, it's a choice that I made because I do want to own a place flat out in Colombia, and I also want to pay down my debt, my $30,000 in debt. So to be able to do both of that, so I still have. Again, when I took the money out of my 401k, that was my retirement. I've been working at my career for going on 22 years this year. In November, I'll be at 22 years. I'm only 39. I've been at the same career for almost 22 years. So for me to take my retirement out and I started paying into it again. So I still got some money that's into it. But for me to take that retirement out, I had to invest it in something that was going to be able to allow me to retire in other places. And now I have, once this process is done, I'll have an option to not only retire in New Jersey where it doesn't cost me any rent or any money to live where I live, and my daughter and my daughter's mother, they not paying 1/3 of what the real price is because they can live in a good area too. And on top of that, if I don't want to be here, I can go to my condo in Colombia. That made more sense to me, for me, than just owning the place in Miami when the prices of everything up is going up. My opinion. It's not saying it's wrong or right just yet. Colombia is trying to move to Florida. Yeah, I can see it. It's again, a lot of people, they move to the United States, in my perspective, because it's the #1 economy in the world. And in my lifetime, I can't ever see it changing. So, but they're not living here for the cost of living. They're not moving. They damn sure ain't moving to Florida for the cost of living, or the United States for the cost of living. Now is the worst time to buy real estate. It depends on your status. It really depends on how you live. What about Brazil? For me, Brazil was too far. I don't speak Portuguese as well as I speak Spanish. So, and as I traveled the world, because see, again, a lot of people know my channel through travel. But I'm not a traveler who just wants to travel a bunch of different places. I want to own property, but I want to make connections in the places I go and keep going to those places. But before I could even choose a country to stay in, I had to go to Brazil. I went to Brazil during Carnival. I went to Sao Paulo. I went to multiple cities in Colombia. I went to Panama. I went to Trinidad. I went to France. I went to Abu Dhabi. I went to Dubai. I went to Iceland. I went to England. I went to Jamaica. I went to Dominican Republic. I went to Trinidad. I went to Cuba. I went all these places because I wanted to see where could be a second place that I want to live, or a second place I could be. And when I went to Colombia, being able to move around so much, Brazil, I went to Sao Paulo and Rio. The only other place I think you could probably go to is Barra Tijuca. Those 3 places are probably it. And because my Portuguese is not great, I didn't feel too comfortable there. But when I went to Cali, I went to Colombia. I went to Calle, Colombia. I went to Barranquilla, Colombia. I went to Medellin, Colombia. I went to Cartagena, Colombia. I went to Bogota, Colombia. I'm like, oh shoot, this is a vibe. This is a vibe. So that's why I ended up in Colombia. Speaking of Colombia, shout out to J. Clyde in the building, man. Make sure y'all check out J. Clyde. He a digital nomad now, man. Big boss. Slay, what's up, man? No, I remember Mexico would be better simply because it had less I remember 2020. I remember 2020 and why I said Mexico would be better because it had less restrictions. Mexico was the only place that did not shut down ever during the pandemic. United States made it seem like it was a change. It was a change that Mexico shut down and they wasn't allowing foreigners in. But Mexico never shut down. The issue with Mexico is that the cost of living is going to go up. And most importantly, I did not have enough money from the sale of my property because I have to pay taxes and realty fees to buy what I really wanted to buy and Playa del Carmen and pay my debt off, because I could just, if I spent the whole $130,000, I could get a decent spot in Playa del Carmen, but then I'd still be $30,000 in debt, and I have to pay that slower at a 30% credit card rate, which might even go higher. So I didn't want to take that risk. So that's the reason why I chose it. J Dub, what's up, man? Vivian, what's up? What's up, man? Yo, Juice, Juice, man, what up, man? No, again, I don't want to say congratulations yet until everything is done, but this is just a plan, and I'm walking you guys through because, again, I know there's gonna be a lot of people that want to that like Mango Diet just said, now is the worst time to buy real estate. That's what a lot of people are saying. But I think what's going to happen is that buying real estate in the United States is going to, in places that people want to buy, because you could buy something in middle America that is not around anything and probably still get a decent deal. But buying somewhere where you want to invest in, I think that's going to become inaccessible for the average person. And they showed that the incomes over time never catch up to the cost of inflation, to the prices of houses. I think America, United States, is going to become a renter nation where everyone's renting the same way they do in Europe. And the only option or one of the only options, not the only, but one of the only options you're going to have is if you decide to go outside of the country and get you something, a piece of a slice of heaven, wherever you're going to go. So you just got to find where your slice of heaven is. So again, I want to say congrats. Yeah, just follow the process. Let's see how it turns out. Because I didn't know Miami was going to turn out this way, and it did. What's going on, Steve-O? Yeah, man, it's time to go. We're going to see. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazines. Romy Rome, salute, Romy Rome, salute. Penn Stephan, what's going on? I hope you guys was able to listen to the thing. We're almost at an hour, so I gotta end it so I can keep it in the algorithm stuff. So I'm gonna make sure I get to that. Again, taxes is not that high in Colombia. I don't know what kind of numbers I did, but it's like 0.06% taxes for the highest tax level. And because the property I'm buying is so little, it's not going to be that high. There is no state tax in Florida. But when you sell a property, you have to pay federal capital gains. And federal capital gains is 15% for long term. Long term meaning I lived or owned the place, rather. I've owned an investment property for over 2 years. So I pay long term capital gains on the profit that I made. If I sell a place for $170 and I bought it for $170, if I sell a place for $270 and I bought it for $167, then it's basically $13,000. I mean, $103,000 that I have to pay capital gains tax of 15% on. So that part ended up being $15,000. That ended up being a little bit over $15,000. Now, if I sell it for higher, it'd be a little bit higher, but yes, sir. Living in high def, what's going on? Where did the 30/30 credit card debt come? Real quick, the 30K credit card debt came because during the course of my purchase, acquiring my property in Miami, I had $45,000, and that was 20% of a little bit more than 20% of what I needed to put down. But because my job's credit union they canceled out on me in the last minute, I had to get another broker and people to finance a bank to finance it. My realtor found another bank, but the bank required me to put down 30% instead of 20% on the property because the property didn't have any reserves for if something goes wrong. So the only way I could do that is if I took money out, and I was able to take $10,000. I needed $15,000. I was able to take $10,000 out in cash from 4 different credit cards. I had more, but only 4 different credit cards. $2,500, $2,500, $2,500, $2,500. That's $10,000. And then me and my boys went to Houston for a weekend. We popped bottles and all that stuff. And I charged my credit card for everything. And my boys gave me the money and for the charge of the credit card. So I was able to from the money we spent, I was able to get another $10,000. So I had I was able to get almost another $10,000 off of all the stuff we bought, like the bottles and stuff. So that's how That's where the 30,000 credit card in debt came from. The 20,000 that I no, the 10,000 that the 20 no, it was the 10,000 I got in cash plus the 10,000 that I swiped at the thing plus now interest. Because remember, credit card interest is 30%. It's been going up. It was 20 going up and up. So I had to keep paying interest on this money that all my credit cards is maxed out. So I ended up being like almost $10,000 over 3 years. So that's where the 30,000 in credit card debt came from. I wouldn't suggest anybody else do it, but for me, I had no other option except for leaving this property. And I would have hated myself. I would have hated myself if I didn't do everything I could do to get that property to now be in this position I am now, where I can do all that I'm doing now because I didn't want to max out the credit card debt to get this property. So again, that's how we got that 30,000. People should pay off their debt. I mean, that's the way they could do it. Poke with FEC insured bonds, crypto. Again, I got different ideas, but I mean this is another idea also. How much is what limitless pause? How much is what? Mintuition. Shout out to Mintuition in the room. What's going on? What's going on? I think he said 60K for it. 60K for what? I'm trying to keep up with y'all. 60K for what? For the property? Are you asking how much is the property in Barranquilla? The properties that's available are between 82 and 92, no, $84 and $92,000 what they're asking, but you can always lower it down, especially when you're paying in cash. Cash talks, especially in Colombia. If you're paying in cash, then that can go down to 78,000, and the highest can go down to 80, 85, 80, 88,000. Who knows? We'll see. 70K. But there's better countries at that price. Better is relative, limitless. Better is relative to what you want to do. A lot of people are looking for an investment. Are there better countries than Colombia for investment? Shit, hell yeah. The United States is better for investment. Mexico is better for investment. The DR might be even better for investment purposes, but that's not while I'm buying this property. Remember, I got this money from my retirement. It was never for me to be invested. It was for me to secure my retirement when I knew for a fact that I could do more. I could do better with $40,000 from my 401k without paying any penalties on it than if I just let it sit in a 401k that's been sitting. So yeah, no. Where Barranquilla? Yeah, Barranquilla. Gary, Indiana. You can right up the way, definitely. Hopefully I got to. Oh, shout out to the homie Andre from Love Crossing Borders, live from Calle. I thought about Calle too, but for me, Barranquilla. The reason why I chose Barranquilla is because after owning 3 properties in the States, I realized one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, in any country when it comes to purchasing real estate is location, and location. One of my friends at work owns a place. He's Colombian, but he owns a place in Sabaneta. And he goes, don't buy in Barranquilla. I said, why not? Buy in Medellin. It should make so much money. It's so much better. And I asked him one simple question. I said, hey, if I buy in Barranquilla, I can fly into Santa Marta and drive 2 hours to Barranquilla if Barranquilla Airport is closed. I can drive to Cartagena. I can fly to Cartagena and drive an hour and a half to Barranquilla if Barranquilla Airport is closed. If Cartagena and Santa Marta is closed, I can fly right directly to Barranquilla. Riddle me this. If you have a place in Medellin, Colombia, if for some reason Medellin Airport closes, how do you get to your place? The only response he could come up with, someone who was born in Colombia, and he's older than me, he's like 60, was he could go to Bogota and take a 6-hour bus to Medellin. And at that time, I said, Now you see why I'm investing in Barranquilla. Because I can go to Santa Marta. I can fly from Cartagena. Both two major cities with ports. I can catch a boat to Cartagena. But if Medellin, which is in the valley, gets wild and shuts down, you're stuck. My opinion. Chestnut, what's going on? Chicken burrito, especially out of country. It's going to be a journey. Me buying a property in Miami was a journey, but it wasn't as much of a journey as I think this is going to be. But I'm just trying to do as much research as I can, track everything. So if anybody can know what I do better, what I can do better next time, if I do decide to get upgrade my place in Barranquilla, then maybe I could do it differently. Preach, Andre, what's going on, man? Mr. Moral TV, what's going on? Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Mango Diet. Appreciate it. Let's see. Motivational movements, what's going on? We over an hour. I gotta try to get to the end of your comments and we're gonna get out of here. Mill. Money Talk Mondays. Nate in your state, what's going on? Y'all shout out to Nate in your state. I think Nate in your state was in where did I just see him at? I want to say he was in Colombia. I want to say Nate in your state was in Colombia. But I was watching this video earlier. The HOA is $90 a month. $90 a month. Well, it depends on the property, the cost of the property. That's what the HOA depends on. And yeah, well, it comes furnished, but I'm going to put my own taste in it because I do want to change some things up. I gotta see what they allow you to change because I don't know if you could take stuff out and put stuff in. But for the first year, I'll probably just add stuff, get some video games, bring some stuff over there from the States, but nothing major. Hey Fresh, and Colombia seller pays the yes, I got that part too. There are some parts that they explained to me that seller pays certain things, and then certain things the seller and the buyer split in Colombia. So certain parts of closing the seller pays, certain parts of the taxes the seller pays for the seller of the property, but there is one part that the seller and the buyer split. So that's how he explained it to me. Who said nobody want to hear that investment talk? I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, y'all. Let me see. Yeah, okay, close calls. Yeah. Again, when I talk to Langon, when I talk to Langon thing for like 3 I'll show y'all a little bit. The video will come out. You guys are not gonna be able to see it, but it's on my thing real quick. The video will come out after I have a meeting with him, but let me see. Again, I can show you guys here. You guys can't see it, but
want to buy a property in Colombia or in general internationally, they would rather appreciate if I had somebody walking through because I feel more comfortable. So I would go the way of what you first said.
Got it. So just to be clear, if you need clarification about the process, I'm sure you saw the YouTube video that we published a year or two ago. That's super step by step, all the way. The articles are also pretty step by step, and then the brochures break this down like into little pieces pretty well. So if you need materials to kind of record, because I know how you guys do this, that's your first sort of resource. As far as
the first resource that he was speaking about was the videos I showed you from his channel with the Langdon, these videos. The videos he's referring to are these videos right here, your first resource. And I watched them multiple times to get what's name. And they'll tell you all about all that stuff. Yeah, definitely smash the like button. Appreciate that, y'all. Chandelier, shout out, man. I'm gonna get out here. Z-Batty, what's up, man? Appreciate it, Andre. Where is Barranquilla? This is Barranquilla. This is gonna be in Barranquilla. Monk Mode. I've been wondering about the real estate deals that went on in Colombia, looking hard to purchase purchasing before. Hey, listen, man. Again, I'm not saying that Barranquilla is the best place to buy, but for me, it's what I really will work for me the most. and I've been a lot of places. And I took a long time before I pushed the button and said I'm ready. So I think that before anybody pushes the button, no matter what everybody else says is good or bad, go there yourself. Go there a couple times, see if it will fit for you. Okay, yeah, appreciate it. Okay, yeah, less than 100. Yeah. I have one property I'm renting. Can I use that property to buy another property? Give you a short answer. I know you. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to run the show to run too long. If you have one property that you're renting already, it's going to be very difficult unless you have a high credit score right now. But you can refinance that property, and if you have someone living in it already, it'll make it easier for you to refinance that property, take that money out, use it as a down payment. The issue is if that property is in your name, that property will need to be on your taxes for 2 years as a profit for it really not to affect you in a negative way. Because that was the reason why I couldn't refinance. That's the reason why I ended up selling my place in Miami instead of refinancing and just taking the money and buy, because I have 2 properties that I write a lot of taxes off on. And if you don't show the a profit in your properties, it's going to be very difficult to refinance and take money out of that place that you're renting. The price seems a bit much for Colombia. Not Colombia, Barranquilla maybe, but I'm purchasing in the 5th strata, and I'm purchasing a property where there's going to be a lot of United States citizens. They put it that way because to me, safety is more important. I appreciate it, Worldwide Traveler. Let's shout everybody out. Is internet included? Yes, that's part of the HOA. Yeah, of course, 480. That's why. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Thank you. I knew I had something wrong. 480 per year, not 4,000. 480 per year. So yeah, that's what I was looking at. So add that 480. It ended up being like 300. When I did the math earlier, it was like $300 a month is all I'm going to have to pay with insurance and all that. Because insurance is like $600 a year max. Thanks, Blaze. Thanks, Blaze. If you started a family there, would I want something better? If I started a family, would I do plan on having a kid in Colombia? Like, again, that's one of my steps. I don't plan on upgrading because ultimately, when I first bought this property, the property is going to be in a trust because you got to buy it in a trust. And my son's name is going to be on the trust here. Now, if I do have another child in Colombia, I'll then most likely take my son's name off and I'll put my other child's name in that thing because of the fact that my son has a place here already and my daughter has a place here already. Like, my daughter's going to own a house, my son's going to own a house, and whatever child I'm going to have in Colombia is going to own a condo. So that's the plan. Again, it's probably going to sell between 270 and 290 based on what I showed earlier. I appreciate it, Nick. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. 200, yeah, I think 280K would probably sell for. Yo, TCB, what's up, Flyboy? I want to buy in Colombia too. That's what I'm doing right now. This is part of documenting the process for y'all. Again, I don't know everything that's going on. I don't know anybody except for my coworker, but my coworker is Colombian, so I don't know anybody who's documented the process like this. I know there are some videos I believe that Ace did with a guy from England who did it, but I don't know anybody from the United States who documented the process like this, and that's why I'm doing it, because y'all gonna learn from my mistakes. Y'all gonna learn from my mistakes. Y'all gonna learn from my achievements, and hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be able to say I own a place in Barranquilla, Colombia. That's my plan. I'll put my place on the market because you guys see, I'll put my Miami place on the market in April. It sells by the end of June. I get paid by the end of July. I make the transfer by the end of September. I buy the place by the end of October. And in November, I'm an owner of a property in Barranquilla. I'll put that out there. Diversify. Shout out to Social Owner in the building, man. What's going on? Again, shout out to Barbaro TV. He has a place in Brazil, and he was doing a lot to get it. and he made it work. Definitely inspiring, man. Definitely inspiring. That's probably one of the reasons that inspired me to finally to look at the numbers to see if the numbers matched up for me doing it. That's one of the things that definitely helped me inspire. I gotta get to the end of this thing so I can end this. Florida is extremely HOI. Now it is. It still doesn't affect me because I brought the property at so low of a value that I still make a profit with the high HOA fees. But again, I think it's time for me to make that move. This live is an eye opener to everyone thinking about buying in Colombia. Salute, Swift. Appreciate it, man. Not Jay. Why Colombia over Tulum? Because Tulum, to me, for one, the entry level is too high, and when something is majorly based on tourism, that's not something I would ever invest in because tourism is not guaranteed. Tulum is not, to me, an economical place where you go, where people go to work, live, and thrive. Yes, you got a couple digital nomads there, but it's mostly tourism that pays for Tulum. I don't want to be stuck in something like that. In Barranquilla, it has tourism, it has culture, and it's a city that's near the sea. It has industrial, and it's still growing. So, even Cartagena to me would have been better than Tulum. So, just give you guys an insight to how I think. It's International. What's going on? Yeah, I think social. Yeah, social is. I don't know if he's still on IG, but he definitely was. Moving to Florida for the rich. Don't go to Florida. It had for I don't know. I don't know if it's for the rich, but you gotta have some money. You definitely gotta have some money. Thank you, Andre. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Because and that's the max one. 0.5 is max. Yeah, that is great. I mean, spring break Miami's lit. See, the thing about Miami is that Miami has so many activities. People think spring break is the biggest activity. Spring break isn't the biggest activity. It's just the most quote-unquote rowdy activity that sticks out. Fashion Week is probably the biggest activity in Miami. For somebody who lived there for 3 years, Fashion Week is way bigger than spring break because Fashion Week isn't just South Beach. Fashion Week is the whole Miami. Swim Week is big too. Art Basel is big too. It's a lot. Carnival weekend is big too. But again, South Beach spring break is the most known. I would say HELOC right now because the cash out refinance you're gonna pay taxes, and the taxes is gonna eat into the money you can spend. But the issue with the HELOC is that right now is very difficult because with the interest rates so high, you have to have a large income to qualify to take a HELOC. So that's the only issue, y'all. That is the biggest issue, rather, not the only issue, but the biggest issue. Put this back up here. Trying to get to the end because I just want to get to all your comments because I appreciate y'all for coming in the room, but I gotta end this live soon. So you only got 50K at 39. Better start. I don't think TLO. I don't think you understood what I said. I only had 50K at 39. I said I only had 45K in my 401k, and that was I wasn't 39. How old was that? That was in 2020. 2020 was 3 years ago, so I was like 37, 36. So that was at 36. I had 45K because I had already borrowed 13K, but I had 45K in my 401k. But I still own 2 houses. I think you missed that part. I think you missed the part where I own 2 houses. The house that I'm living in now is worth $710,000. The house that I have in West Orange is worth $600,590. It's worth $590,000. So I still got those houses. We just talking about liquid, how liquid I was back then. Now everything's in the houses, but yeah, I think you missed that part. Apollo, what's going on, man? Do your thing. A lot of people are giving advice and they never done it. Again, I'm one of the people too, Apollo, but I'm trying to track it because I think it's kind of, to me, I think it's better when you get somebody who's walking through the process that's not familiar with it, and you get to see the mistakes, you get to see the errors, than to have somebody who did it already and they're trying to explain it to you after they done it, and they're not gonna be able to remember everything. But this is the process I'm going through, man. And shout out to Apollo. Apollo's one of the good brothers who I said lives and resides and works in Barranquilla. One of the reasons why it really made me push forward to purchasing this property once I seen the network they had out there. Like, y'all make sure y'all check out Apollo's channel too. He got some dope interviews. Just did an interview with Kobe, who's on a Netflix show. So again, y'all, like things like this. I know a lot of people see me and they're like, "Oh, you're a legend. You're a big superstar. This and this." But at the end of the day, I'm just the average man trying to show you what's possible. And I get inspired by people like Apollo, who has who's a very, I don't want to say his position, what he does, but he's a very important figure in the community of Barranquilla. So again, y'all, we'll see. What's going on, Joe? I don't think I can't time the market. I don't know the market. I got lucky. Luck mixed with skill got me this. I got lucky, but it took to get lucky. It takes time and it takes knowledge to put you in a place where you can get lucky, and that's what happened here. I didn't time it to say, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it now and it's gonna shoot up this fast." I never thought it would. I never thought, bro. I made three. I tripled. I've never seen any, even in 2008, it took more longer, where you could triple the amount of investment you put in 3 years. I don't know. It's crazy. Appreciate it, man. Do what you do. I gotta get to the end of this thing. Do what you feel is right. Appreciate it. Do what you feel is right. I've been to Colombia and now Argentina will be the home. Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. I definitely want to check out Peru too, because I've been Lord, shout out to Lord, man. Lord Williams. He's in Peru right now, I believe. Let me say, what other cities will we move to? If I didn't choose Barranquilla, depending on what I want. If I want an investment, I probably would do Medellin. But Medellin is just changing so much with the law, so I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably do Cartagena if I wanted investment. But if I didn't care about investment and I just wanted a place I could afford and live, I would move to the north of Cali. Barranquilla is my first choice, but if I didn't and I didn't care about investment, the north of Cali next to you gotta ask Andre from Love Cross the Borders, next to Chippy Choppy Mall. I would buy a place right there. I got 2 properties in Mexico. Okay. I got 2 properties in Mexico and San Miguel, renting both 1-bedroom units to a foreigner and 13,000, and it's paid off, right? It's all, see, that's dope. That is super dope, bro. And the fact that it's paid off is what really makes it smooth. Mexico is super gentrified. It's not the play, but I respect Mexico for never shutting down. Big fact. But did you see Passport Heavy recent video? Yeah, shout out to Passport Heavy for what he did. He finally made that investment overseas and did that. I personally believe that he's taking a risk, but that risk could pay off big time. It could pay off big time. But it is a risk because, again, the island of Belize is based in tourism. To me, that to my knowledge, is based in tourism. But I think it's better to take that risk than to just keep traveling and not put nothing together. Like, for me, I did it a different way. I did it the way as far as I got my money right. And I traveled the world. And then I went somewhere that was already established. And I said, hey, I'm going to find my piece of heaven or my piece of second home in this place that's established already, because I feel more comfortable with investing that much money in it. But, bro, think about this. When I was watching that Passport Heavy investment thing, they was like, certain people bought the house bought the land for 18,000, invested 40,000, and now it's worth almost 100. It's dope. Again, dope. Al, what's up? Respect. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. No, hey, not Jay. You should talk to if he's still in the room, talk to Jay Clyde. Jay Clyde, he got the move. Oh, what I'm talking about? Talk to Jay Clyde or talk to Andre from Love Crossing Borders. Right here, y'all. Right here. Andre, he did something that I've never seen anybody do the other year. I don't know what year it was. He gave a list of 200 jobs that people could do as digital nomads. This is not something you can learn in the States as easily. People pay people to get this information. So maybe link up with Andre from Love Crossing Borders to get that nomad stuff. If you want to be if you truly want to be a digital nomad and you have the availability, this is who you need to get in contact with, y'all. I appreciate it. Yo, listen, we're gonna talk. Hey, dividend passport. We're gonna talk in there. We're gonna talk in this to play. Taxes aren't. Yeah, exactly. They're not. So, dog, you don't understand that my condo in Miami, I'm paying $3,000 for, bro. I got a studio. I have a studio. I'm paying over $3,000 a year for my condo in Miami. I got a studio, not a 1-bedroom. It's crazy, yo. It's not as bad as New Jersey though. My house is in New Jersey, man. Whatever. I'm writing them off on taxes because I got tenants, but man, crazy. Everyone says that it's not the right time to buy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I was watching, and I'm gonna attach the video to this. Just watch the video I attached to this. It's crazy. I appreciate that, King James. Listen, to me, it's all about the message, man. It's all about the message, y'all. Yeah, Florida has no state income tax, but you still got to pay federal. I think I'm almost at the end. Not almost at the end. I got to speed through this, y'all. Yeah. Again, Jesse Swords. That's what I said. That's what I said. For this property, my other properties that I have that I talk people through, there was no luck. It was little luck involved aside from finding the property. But this property, yeah. For 2001 individual in capital. Oh man, thank you, dividend passport. But yeah, it's not gonna let me do that. It says for 2024 tax year, individual filers won't pay any capital gains tax if their total taxable income is $47,000 or less. But if I'm selling the place for $100,000, I mean, if I'm selling the place and making $100,000, that takes my taxable income over $47,000, and that's not even including my job. So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna let me do that. The rate jumps to 15% on tax beam. Yeah, this is where I fall. I fall into this right here. That's why it's 15% for me because I fall. Yeah, I fall into this right here. That's crazy. Actually crazy. I should be cursing. I want to monetize this. Taking cash event. Oh yeah, no, it is 100%. Again, Jesse Shorts. Even when I said I did it, I said this is not something I would suggest doing. But I couldn't live with myself if I didn't do everything I could do to get this place. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. If I wasn't able to do, I was either going to crash out or I was going to make it. And if I had crashed out, I'd have still had the place. So it would have been like I'm crashing out, but not really because I still got the equity. Barry, shout out to official Kobe, who I was talking about earlier. The real celebrity stepped in the room. Make sure y'all check out official Kobe channel. He got these dope story times, and I'll be watching all the story times and hitting the like button. And he got a story time about dating in Barranquilla and how he. Oh man, Kobe, man. Listen, y'all gotta go watch that story time, man. Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. I got one in the cartoon. Oh, that's so dope, bro. That is so dope. Again, for me in Florida, in Miami, that's long distance for me. I live in New Jersey. I don't have an issue with being a long-term landlord in Miami because the tenant laws are the landlord-tenant laws are more lenient towards the landlord's rights than tenant rights. Now, New Jersey, New York, or California, never in my life would I live in another state and have tenants here. Now I live here in Jersey, so I can do it, but never. Listen, man, I want to share with the world because again, I never had anybody that told me how to travel. We didn't have people a lot of our ancestors, they had a different way of looking at life. My way is different, and I want to share it with the world because it can help somebody. Barranquilla is only my secretary. I'm just saying, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it definitely was, man. It definitely is. Sorry, is. It definitely is one of my dreams. What's going on, Element? Did you no? Yeah, I seen it. I was the first Element. If you watch the video, Element, I was the first person in the chat with giving the fist up props because of the fact that I watch everybody's videos. Like I'm supportive of everybody that's doing something and showing another way. Again, I personally didn't. I wouldn't do it, but I 100% understand that it is a great risk if you're going to take a risk rather than sitting around and doing nothing. Because with $40,000, you're not going to invest that in the States and get your return back. High risk, high reward. But you at a younger age like we are, quote unquote younger, this is when you're supposed to take the risk. Don't worry, you can go back and check it out. Racket, what's going on, man? What's going on? That's a good point. I'm actually a response video to that statement. As profoundly what you said, Medellin still, it is. Oh man. Oh, Gianmo, what's up, man? Y'all make sure y'all check out Gianmo too, man. Gianmo be doing his thing in the DR, bro. Congratulations on the little one, big bro. I don't know if you had it already, yet, but shout out to you, man. Yo, Fresh, what industry do I work? Ah, shucks. So I don't know if I want to say it on this live. I drive trucks. I drive trucks for a company. Because I don't, I tell people on other lives, but I don't know if I really want to say it here. How is it? It's probably not that live, except for around carnival time and around salsa time. They got certain hits, certain times where Barranquilla Airbnb market is good, but it's not something that's consistent as I would think. Especially how low of a return on investment you're gonna get. Like if I wanted to go rent a place in Barranquilla, I'd be paying like $400 a month for an apartment. Or if I wanted an Airbnb, maybe $20 a night, $30 a night. So I don't know if that's the thing. Shout out to Omar Suarez, yo. Yo, let me tell you about Omar Suarez. He just said it too. We brought our condos in Miami at the exact same time. It wasn't, we didn't know each other before that, anything like that. We just so happened to both buy our condos at the same time. He said, I'm so tempted to sell it. I've been thinking to do the same. My condo fees double. And listen, bro. It's still people wanting to move to Miami. That's why I'm like, I'm selling it now, bro. Barranquilla would have been my first choice also. Alpha, man, what's going on? I appreciate the hustle and the grind. We met in Barranquilla. Oh, shout out to Alpha, yo. This is a cool brother. Him and his wife from the DR, they travel the world. And they live in the DR, but they travel the world. Alpha, you got it. I think Alpha has a channel already, so make sure y'all check him out. But if you haven't, you got to start a channel because he got a dope story. We sat there and talked for like 30 minutes. Appreciate it. Oh, again, we just hit me up on Instagram. Like, I'm doing a lot, but you can hit me on Instagram, and I'll chat and we'll chat it up. Yeah, but you also need your credit rating and your debt to income ratio to be low. Or a home or a mortgage, a home equity line of credit or home equity loan. Dialogue, what's up, man? Dialogue, what's up, man? I'm trying to get up out of here. All right, we almost at the end. Let me see. I don't want to skip too many people. Let me see. Julio, hey, bro. I'm in Playa to come right now. I got 120 to pay for. Should I consider checking out Colombia? Can I get 2 condos? I don't think you can get 2 condos in a decent place for cash for 120 Colombia. A decent place, like a decent. When I say decent, I mean all right, y'all. When I say decent place in Colombia, I mean strata 5 or strata 6. The higher strata you get, the higher strata you live in or own a property in, the more your investment will be worth because the higher strata is the higher economics of the place. The people who make the most money live in strata 6. The second most money live in strata 5. After strata 4, it kind of goes more into the poverty land. So if you're looking for a place, you're going to really have to spend between $70,000 and over if you want to get something in strata 5 or up. So I don't think so. Honestly, the most important thing though is when you're looking for a place to buy a property in, Julio, look for where you would live yourself. Because if all else fails and you need a retirement place, that's what's gonna matter the most. That's Dividend Passport. That's the exact same company that Langon told me about. I can't show you that these guys told me about. I can't show you the email they showed me because it's got a lot of personal stuff in it. But these guys told me about this investment company here. I had two choices. It was either this one or it was another one. And the other one is the one that expats mostly use, but it had a minimum level of $100,000 investment. And I didn't really fit that thing. Oh, that's dope. That's gonna be super dope. Neil, what's up, man? And Neil, you gotta go back and rewind this. I'll sum it up real quick. And I'm using the brokerage account. I plan on using the brokerage account. But I went and spoke about all that earlier, y'all. Greg, what's up, nigga? I bought a property in ATL shortly after you made a video about getting a Miami condo, selling it now too. Good luck to you. Salute. See, Greg, you bought a condo in ATL. Dog, these investors and investment corporations, they'll buy your property right now and pay you more than top dollar. More than top dollar, because they're trying to buy up Atlanta, bro. They're trying to buy up Atlanta. Again, yeah. The worst thing I would say is if you're going, even with if I don't know if I don't want to say his real name. I don't know if I don't want to say his real name. Freak. Let me go. I don't know if Omar Suarez is still here, but the most important thing is that if you do sell your place at this time, you got to be going internationally. You got to be going internationally if you're selling your place, or you got to be paying off a place that you already have. The only two reasons why I would tell people to sell their place right now in 2024, in March 18th, 2024, is if you're taking that money and you're buying something internationally, or if you're taking that money and you're paying off a place completely that you own. So you're completely debt free. The reason why is because if you're trying to upgrade to another house, you're going to be paying way more money. It's not, to me, it's not worth it. But yeah. Rod, what's up, man? Ryan, what's up? Have you ever looked into your net gains on real estate sales? Yeah, I did. Ryan. But the issue with the 1030 exchange, I think it's 1030. The issue with the 1030 exchange is that it doesn't work internationally. So I can't 1030 exchange my money into this property from this property, because that would be perfect. For those that don't know, what a 1030 exchange is a tax loophole that allows you to sell a property and not pay any tax on it as long as you use that money in 90 days to buy another property. The issue with that is that, one, the properties, if you're going to buy something in the States, are too high up that you're going to lose money because your interest rate is going to triple, if not double. Secondly, when you're buying internationally, you can't use a 1030 exchange. If money was an issue, it would be Barranquilla. If money was an issue, it would be Barranquilla. I would live in Barranquilla if money wasn't an issue. I mean, I would buy in Barranquilla if it wasn't an issue. I would probably buy a bigger place, but yeah, big up to Jabril, man. Big up to Jabril, y'all. To get your money in Colombia, you need an account with. Yeah, that's the best of the way I've seen. That was the best way so far. A lot of guys got hired from that job list. Yo, oh damn, we that far back? I gotta speed up, man. I'm just gonna get you the questions, yo. Yo, brother, just subscribe. I got money in Colombia to buy. I got money to buy a Colombian second home. I have properties. I have properties in Miami, but I'm trying to get to the States. Yo, brother, just subscribe. I got money to buy a house in Colombia, my second home. I have properties in Miami, but I'm trying to get out of the States. I would say talk to these people right here, Langon. Talk to these people that's in the back right here. I'll put their link in the description after this is over. Talk to these people right here, man. Other than that, before you make a move, the most important thing is to go to that place more than 2 times. Go to that place more than 2 times to see if it's a place that you could live. That's I think. Because if you could live there, then you wouldn't mind buying a property there. But you got 2 properties in Colombia already, right? No, you buy one now. Okay. Let's see. Steven, what's going on, man? I gotta speed through all this. If I haven't shouted you out, I'll see your name, shout you out, and keep going. Again, go travel Colombia and see what you like first, man. Because I like Barranquilla, but somebody else might like Calle. I can see it. Somebody else might like Bogota. I can see it. Somebody might love Medellin. I can see it. And somebody might want to like Cartagena. There's condos in Cartagena right now I could buy, but I wouldn't buy it. Buy a crib in Tampa, Florida. Tampa's expensive now too, man. Shout out to Tone. What's going on, good brother? Appreciate it, man. Flyboy. Yeah, I think Cartagena is safe to travel alone. It's very touristy. So I think that's yes. If I had to say an ultimate answer, nothing's ever 100% safe. But if I was to choose one country or one part of the country to go to for the first time, it'd be Cartagena if I wanted to feel secure. Yeah. Salute. Appreciate it, man. I'm just trying to get to the end of the chat to show y'all. I appreciate. I got it. Cool. Much respect, man. Ken Padmore, what's going on? Salute. The Mr. Alexander, what's up? I feel like more Americans are going to buy land overseas. I think that is, but I don't know how long that's going to take, Mr. Alexander. That's the thing. I don't think it's going to happen in the next 5 years. But I think in the next 5 years, things will get so bad that people will start to think outside of the box. But I want to get there first. And I've been traveling so long and not been pushing that button to do it. Now that I have the opportunity, that button getting pushed. And I'm not saying it's going to be too late for anybody else. It's just that I'm ready. Because, see, yep, exactly, Andre, exactly. Appreciate it, man, appreciate it. Yeah, you can to 1031 exchange to property in the States, but not outside of the country. Can you put this 1031 exchange in an escrow account possibly within 90 days? I'm not a tax attorney. But I'm telling you from what I know. Can you put the 1030 exchange escrow account possibly because within the 90 days? Nah, man. You probably can get an extension, but I don't think it's going to be longer than 15 days. And you're going to have, when you give the extension, you're going to have a property that you want, that you're picking, and something is taking long to close or something. But nah, you got to pick the property and be in contract within 90 days. Where can I invest 50? Oh, shoot. Here's what I say. Again, we went long over the time, but here's what I'll say, Gil. I'm not a financial advisor, but what would I do if I had 50K right now? The most important thing to me, in my opinion, from my investment career, if you have to pay rent, how can you invest? If you have a high credit card balance, how can you invest? So the first thing I would do is, if you have a high credit card balance, pay all the credit cards off. If you have no credit cards and you have 50K and you don't have school debt is with low interest, but credit cards, if you have no credit cards, you have 50K and you don't have your own place, I would say get a duplex. I know it's going to be expensive, but get a duplex where you can rent one floor and live on the other floor, or rent both floors, live in the attic or live in the basement. Because once you get rid of your rent, your life will change forever. And 50K will be enough money, as long as your credit is good, even at these prices where the average price right now around the world is like 40, around the United States is like 400,000, 50K will be enough for you to get a property and close on it. And if you got to live in the basement or live in the attic, as long as you can live in a livable place, I would do that. Because as long as you're paying rent or as long as you're paying high credit card debt, your investments is is going to somebody else's money. Yeah, Cali real nice, y'all. Cali is North. Yeah, again, I'm going back to Cali in August. Last ones, y'all. Been trying to invest. I haven't been to Santa Marta yet. I was supposed to go to Santa Marta on this Barranquilla trip, but I stayed in Barranquilla. I didn't want to go, but I haven't been to Santa Marta yet. I won't be able to speak on it. Andre from Love Crossing Borders can tell you more because he's been to Santa Marta before. No, I'm saying, Ken. No, I am saying you can. Is what I am saying. Financial retirement investment. But I got you for creative Okay. Yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody for coming in the room. I hope you got some information off of this. Shit. Come on, y'all. I appreciate it. I truly appreciate everybody for joining the room and joining me on this journey. I don't know what is going to come out to it. This is just the first step. Well, it's not the first step, actually. My first step was talking to a lawyer and doing all that stuff. But this is just another step in the process. I'm going to probably start a separate playlist and label this and put all the stuff in the playlist called My Journey to My First International Property, where I take you from where we're at now to where we move in. Because when I did it for my first property out of the state in Miami, it's all into my financial playlist, but it wasn't as easy to catch. So for this one, I might do it this way. But again, I'm gonna end it with me purchasing my property video because it really set this trend. I would not have been able to move to this part right here if I didn't do this right here. And I'm going to show you right after this real quick. It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's TheFlyBoyway. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
To go sign for my property manager, sign the notary, because notary has to go. Of course, I'm late because I couldn't find parking, so I can get in the shower and get dressed on Colombian Avenue. So we at I really could give you the tour right away, but I'm gonna eventually give you a tour. And you're gonna see how it is. But we on 800, man. It's time, man. Time to bust the moves, man. 9th floor. Just want to show you guys. Look, I'm on the 9th floor, and the only floor above me is the penthouse. You know what I mean? So, that's how we doing. That means, like, I'm up there, but it's still room for progress, man. It's still room for progress, still room to move. I like this elevator, it's kind of dope, but I'm gonna get used to it, though. But I'm gonna go there with my camera, so that's it.
That's it. Signed.
Yes. So we finally signed the paperwork. I'm gonna get to showing you everything. Hopefully, I'll show you guys everything already, but it's for $40 H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's TheFlyBoyway. Don't ask why. Check out the channel, please.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.